In the bustling city of New York, Felix, a 32-year-old marketing executive, found himself teetering on the edge of despair. It was early 2024, and the world around him seemed to be moving at a pace he could no longer keep up with. The once vibrant and optimistic Felix was now a shadow of his former self. His job had become a relentless pressure cooker. His relationships were strained to the breaking point, and his self-confidence was shattered. Every morning, Felix woke up with a knot in his stomach, dreading the day ahead. His office, once a place of creativity and camaraderie, now felt like a battlefield. He spent his days dodging the critical eyes of his superiors and the whispered conversations of his colleagues. Each task seemed monumental, and every decision felt like a potential disaster. Felix's nights were no better. He found solace in a bottle of whiskey, his only companion in the early hours of the morning. His apartment, once filled with laughter and warmth, was now a silent witness to his unraveling. His personal life was in ruins. His girlfriend of 5 years, Emily, had left him, unable to cope with his increasing irritability and withdrawal. "You're not the man I fell in love with, Felix," she had said, her eyes filled with tears. "I can't keep trying to save you from yourself." Her words echoed in his mind, a constant reminder of his failures. His friends, once a tight-knit group, had slowly drifted away, unable to break through the wall of isolation he had built around himself. One particularly bleak Friday evening, Felix sat alone in his dimly lit apartment, the weight of his failures pressing down on him. He felt like a spectator in his own life, helplessly watching as everything he had worked for crumbled around him. Desperation clawed at his heart, and he wondered if this was all there was to life. Was he doomed to a future of unfulfilled dreams and unrelenting misery? In the midst of this darkness, a glimmer of hope appeared. Inspired, Felix decided to implement Stoic principles in his life. Is the story of how Felix rose from rock bottom to the pinnacle of personal and professional success by embracing Stoicism and building unshakable self-confidence. Chapter 1: The Descent. Felix's life had not always been in shambles. Just a few years ago, he was on a promising career path. His girlfriend was supportive and enjoyed a close-knit group of friends. However, the relentless pressure to perform at work, coupled with his tendency to compare himself to others on social media, began to take a toll on his mental health. He became increasingly anxious, withdrawn, and insecure. His work suffered as he doubted his abilities and feared making mistakes. His relationship ended because he couldn't handle the emotional stress, and his friends slowly drifted away as he isolated himself. Felix hit rock bottom when he was passed over for a promotion he desperately wanted, and his confidence plummeted to an all-time low. Felix found himself sinking deeper into a rut. His mornings were a blur of hitting the snooze button and dreading the day ahead. At work, he was paralyzed by the fear of making the wrong decisions, leading to stagnation in his career. His evenings were spent mindlessly scrolling through social media, feeling pangs of jealousy and inadequacy as he compared his life to the seemingly perfect lives of others. His weekends, once filled with social activities, were now consumed by solitude and self-pity. Chapter 2: The Turning Point. One evening, while mindlessly scrolling through his phone, Felix stumbled upon a podcast about Stoicism. Intrigued by the idea of finding peace and confidence through ancient wisdom, he decided to delve deeper. He began reading works by the great Stoic philosophers, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus. Their teachings resonated with him, particularly the concept of focusing on what is within one's control and accepting what is not. In that day, something changed. He began a journey that started as just an idea, a thought, that would change his life forever. The more Felix read, the more he felt a spark of hope igniting within him. He was particularly struck by Marcus Aurelius's Meditations, where the Roman emperor wrote about maintaining tranquility in the face of adversity. Felix found solace in the idea that even someone as powerful as Aurelius grappled with self-doubt and uncertainty, yet managed to maintain inner peace and confidence. Chapter 3: The First Steps. The idea is simply a seed, but the actual action is the force that makes growth happen. Inspired by Stoicism, Felix decided to implement its principles in his life, as much as he consciously can. Every move he made, he was mindful about. Every time he took a decision, he was logical and unemotional. Every single word he spoke, he was cautious, and sooner rather than later, a change began to appear. He started with the dichotomy of control, recognizing that he couldn't change the past or control other people's actions, but could control his reactions and decisions. Felix began practicing mindfulness, a key Stoic principle, to manage his anxiety. Every morning, he spent 15 minutes meditating, focusing on his breath, and letting go of intrusive thoughts. This practice helped him stay present and reduced his overthinking. The morning meditation sessions became a sanctuary for him, a time to clear his mind and set positive intentions for the day. Daily reflections. Felix started keeping a journal, another Stoic practice. Each evening, he reflected on his day, writing about what went well, what didn't, and how he could improve. This helped him recognize his progress and areas for growth, reinforcing his self-worth. He found that by acknowledging both his successes and failures, he could approach each day with a balanced perspective, rather than being overwhelmed by self-criticism. Accepting imperfections. Felix struggled with perfectionism, constantly fearing failure. He reminded himself of Epictetus's teachings. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. He learned to accept that making mistakes was part of being human and an opportunity for growth. This shift in mindset allowed him to take more risks at work, experiment with new strategies, and embrace creativity without the paralyzing fear of failure. Chapter 4: The Rise. As Felix consistently applied Stoic principles, he noticed significant changes in his life. His anxiety lessened, and his confidence began to grow. He realized that his worth wasn't determined by external achievements but by his internal values and efforts, and it wasn't long that he noticed significant positive changes. Rebuilding relationships. With newfound confidence, Felix reached out to old friends and apologized for his past behavior. He also found a new and a much better girl, the kind of woman the old Felix could have only dreamed of. But it was not some random stroke of luck. It was all him, because not only had his self-worth and real-time value skyrocketed, he was now approaching the relationship with more emotional stability and understanding, which in turn made his girl go crazy about him. Stoicism taught him to communicate openly and to be more empathetic, strengthening his connections with others. He learned to listen actively, offer support without judgment, and maintain emotional balance even in difficult conversations. Professional growth. At work, Felix's performance improved dramatically. He no longer feared criticism or failure. Instead, he saw them as opportunities to learn and grow. His superiors noticed his renewed dedication and positive attitude, leading to the promotion he once thought was out of reach. Felix attributed his success to the Stoic principle of focusing on effort rather than outcomes. He also started mentoring junior colleagues, sharing his experiences and Stoic insights to help them navigate their own challenges. Personal development. Felix also invested time in personal development. He set clear goals and pursued them with determination. He took up new hobbies, like painting and hiking, which provided a sense of accomplishment and joy. Stoicism taught him the importance of balancing work with leisure, contributing to his overall well-being. He discovered that engaging in creative and physical activities not only reduced stress but also enhanced his problem-solving skills and overall happiness. Chapter 5: Facing Adversity. Life, however, is never without challenges. Felix faced several setbacks, including the loss of a close family member and a major project failure at work. But armed with Stoic resilience, he navigated these difficulties with grace. Managing grief. When Felix's father passed away, he turned to Marcus Aurelius's Meditations, finding solace in the emperor's reflections on mortality. He allowed himself to grieve but didn't let the sorrow consume him. He honored his father's memory by living a virtuous life, focusing on what he could control, his actions and reactions. Felix practiced gratitude for the time he had with his father and found comfort in the support of his friends and family. Overcoming professional setbacks. The project failure at work initially shook Felix's confidence. However, he applied the Stoic principle of viewing obstacles as opportunities. He analyzed what went wrong, learned from his mistakes, and implemented improvements in future projects. His ability to remain calm and focused during crises earned him respect and admiration from his colleagues. Felix's resilience and problem-solving abilities became key assets in his professional growth, leading to new opportunities and responsibilities. Chapter 6: Sharing the Wisdom. Felix's transformation was so profound that others began to notice and seek his advice. He started a blog, sharing his journey and insights on Stoicism. His writing resonated with many who felt lost and overwhelmed. Just as he once did, Felix found a new sense of purpose in helping others build their confidence and resilience. He also began hosting weekly Stoic study groups, where people from various walks of life could come together to discuss and apply Stoic principles. These gatherings became a source of community and support, further reinforcing Felix's own commitment to Stoicism and personal growth. Chapter 7: The Upper Echelons. By the end of 2024, Felix's life was dramatically different from where he had started. His self-confidence was unshakable, and he had achieved a level of personal and professional success he once thought impossible. He continued to practice Stoicism daily, knowing that true confidence and happiness come from within. Public speaking and leadership. Felix, once terrified of public speaking, now gave talks on Stoicism and self-confidence at conferences and seminars. His authenticity and wisdom inspired many, and he became a sought-after speaker. Stoicism had taught him to focus on delivering value rather than seeking approval, which made his presentations compelling and impactful. He also took on leadership roles in his company, guiding teams with a Stoic mindset and fostering a positive, resilient work culture. Personal fulfillment. On a personal level, Felix felt fulfilled and content. He had strong, meaningful relationships and a career he loved. He continued to challenge himself, setting new goals and pursuing them with the same Stoic determination that had transformed his life. Felix also dedicated time to volunteering and community service, using his skills and resources to make a positive impact on the lives of others. Mentorship. Felix also became a mentor to younger colleagues and friends, guiding them on their paths to self-confidence and success. He shared Stoic practices and principles, helping them navigate their own challenges with resilience and grace. His mentorship extended beyond the workplace, as he supported individuals in various aspects of their lives, from personal development to career planning. Felix's journey from despair to triumph is a testament to the power of Stoicism in building self-confidence. By focusing on what he could control, accepting what he couldn't, and embracing the present moment, Felix transformed his life in ways he never imagined. His story illustrates that self-confidence is not about external validation but about inner strength and resilience. In 2024, amidst the chaos and uncertainty, Stoicism offers a beacon of hope and a path to true self-confidence. Felix's story serves as an inspiration for anyone seeking to rise from the ashes and achieve their fullest potential. Through mindfulness, daily reflections, accepting imperfections, and embracing challenges, we can all build the self-confidence needed to thrive in today's world. But here's the twist: we are all Felix. We are either at a low, trying everything we can to change our current pathetic situations, or we are at outrise. But remember that if anyone in the world can, it's you. So, I am here to remind you about the power you hold within, and I ask you, I challenge you to tap into it just once and watch the magic happen. Remember, you owe yourself, not the negative side, but the side of you that has faced all the adversities and has kept the light in you shining, the gift of gratitude and inevitable victory. So hit that subscribe button to join Gentleman's Guidepost, the only community you need to become unstoppable in your pursuit of greatness. Thank you for watching.